Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So, in the last episode, I spoke about leads and how to convert lead to accounts, contact, and opportunity. Right now, in your daily sales cycle, you often will be dealing with leads and opportunities. Opportunities are very important because opportunities, it's kind of instrumental in bringing money to your organization, right? So what I meant by that is, let's say you're a company which um, manufacture, let's say, computers, right? Now, obviously, you can only make money by selling your computers. Now, how to sell your computers? Obviously, you have to reach out to your customer, and when the customer decides to buy, let's say, three computers, say three laptops, let's say 10 monitors and whatnot, right? That will form as a part of an opportunity in your sales pipeline. Now, it's not necessary that the customer will end up in buying it. They might be reaching out to you to inquire, to say, hey, this is our requirement, this is what we want. So it's not always necessary they will end up in buying. So that's why there are different stages in opportunity. Now, if I now you can manually create opportunity. You don't some companies do have automation to do that in different ways. Now you can create it manually, so by creating new and opportunities, let's say buying computers and account name. So you got to obviously you have to associate this with to existing, or you have to create one. Let's say I'm going to do demo account, right? And type, um, let's say existing customer upgrade. That's what they're after. Close date, you are expected to close, let's say, by end of this month. Yeah. And lead source, let's say somebody called you. Yeah, the same customer might have called you, and um, and the stage, right? It's just a prospecting stage, right? Okay. And amount you're looking for, let's say, how much you can put? 3 grand. Not 3 grand. Sorry, $8,000. Okay. So like I said, 10. Save. Now, now you can see that this is a very, uh, you know, pipeline, very beautiful pipeline here. So it's in prospecting. You can change it to say qualification when that happens, then need analysis. You can create your own, right? So I'm just gonna not gonna get into that. Um, so the and what might also happen, right? So the person who contacted you may not be the one who's influencing the decision when it comes to buying. They may be somebody else. So what you can do, so that let's say if someone else makes a decision, so you can add that person as a contact role. So I would say add. So I can say add contact roles. So I would say you know um, let's say add this person. Okay, what's the role of the person? You can say influencer. Let's say that I'm the one who's influencing the decision, for instance, to make sure me or influencer in the sense, I would say there's someone who has an influence on this opportunity and can influence the outcome of this opportunity if I put it in a simple way. Okay, so I'll do save, and you can say I have a contract or contact roles here, right? You can do that, and you can also add multiple people to it. That's one more thing you can do. Yeah, you can also add partners here if you want. You can add, you know, so I'm not going to do that. So that's one option you can do. And that's good, right? That's from a good opportunity perspective. Now, you might have seen, right, when I showed you in the beginning, opportunities were all displayed on the list view, right, which is pretty cool. But at times, right, you as a salesperson may not be interested to view this in a list view. You might be interested to view in a different view, right? Because, for instance, if I wanted to change, right now, all of my stage is prospecting. Sorry, three of them are under prospecting and at least under recently viewed, and two are closed won. What if I wanted to change, say, prospecting to closed one, right? I can't do that from here. I mean, I can pretty much, right? I can do that. I can change it. I can do that, which is fine. But let's say, what if I don't want to use this interface, right? I'm from somewhere. Let's say I've used a different kind of software before where I can drag and drop and change the prospects stage, or I can change different stuffs, right? So that's why we have a different view that's called the Kanban view. So you can have here. So now this is a view I personally like because I can drag and drop. I can drag and drop stuff here. I can drag and drop the stuff here, and I've seen the companies, a couple of companies where I've seen the sales team uses this view, especially if they're using Salesforce, of course. And because the reason why they wanted to use this, one of the person who I worked with in the past, he's an excellent sales professional. So he told me that he preferred this view rather than the list view because list view looks too geeky. And I kind of agree, right? Because when you say, hey, list view, right? I mean, it's not really very user friendly, right? What if we have say thousands of records, right? It makes it very difficult. But if you have in the form of segregator, right, you can see, oh, I got a few, like two under prospecting, one under, what's it called, proposal price code. It makes it much easier from a user experience perspective. So that's why I personally like this view. I mean, you might have your own perception that to say, hey, this view is not really great. That's all good. Whatever works for you, right? At the end of the day. So for me, this is the view I prefer to use. You might have different opinion, right? So that's in a nutshell. I wanted to talk from a opportunity and from a Kanban perspective, right? From an exam point of view, this is important, and I'm pretty sure you might have learned this when you were doing your excuse me, my apologies. When you were doing from a admin certification perspective, you might have learned, the leads, you might have learned opportunities. So we are just going through it again. So that's why I don't want to get into the very detailed nitty-gritty aspect of it, because there is an expectation that you would already know what opportunity is about, what leads are about, right? So that's all I wanted to cover in this episode. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Adios.